Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're embarking on a deep dive into excerpts from Khaled Hosseini's really powerful novel, The Kite Runner.
Hmm.
Our mission, really, is to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight from this incredible story. We want to show how deeply personal choices get tangled up with these, grand historical events.
Right.
You'll see firsthand how the past isn't just history, as the narrator tells us. It's a living, breathing force that often kind of claws its way out and shapes everything.
And what's truly compelling here, I think, is how these specific narrative segments give us such a concentrated look at this complex web of relationships, guilt, and ultimately that search for redemption. We're not just exploring what happens, but really digging into why it matters, connecting these individual lives to the broader cultural, political landscape of Afghanistan and beyond, actually.
Let's start right at the beginning then. Kabul, 1975. Amir, the narrator, he pinpoints his life-defining moment at age 12. You immediately get this powerful sense that the past claws its way out, right?
Absolutely. It sets the tone immediately.
And we see his childhood completely interwoven with Hassan's. Hassan, this incredibly loyal companion who never denied Amir anything, even, firing walnuts at the neighbor's one-eyed German shepherd with his slingshot when Amir really pushed him to do it.
And that's where the foundation of their relationship really comes into focus, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We learned Amir lives in Baba's, opulent mansion, while Hassan's in this humble mud shack, described as spare, clean, dimly lit by kerosene lamps with that tapestry reading, Allah Akbar.
Such a contrast.
It is. And this immediate difference, even just in where they live, it points directly to these underlying societal divisions. And then we find out about Hassan's mother, Sanabar, how she openly scorned Ali, Hassan's father. Despite being family, she apparently sneered, "I have seen old donkeys better suited to be a husband."
Yeah.
What does that tell us about the social dynamics, the deeply entrenched ones, even within families?
It paints a really stark picture, yeah. And Baba, Amir's father, wow, he's this towering figure, snores like a growling truck engine, fiercely independent. We see his immense pride in building an orphanage.
A very public act of generosity.
Right, but then also his outspoken disdain for religious leaders, calling them bearded idiots and self-righteous monkeys.
Yeah.
He even says, "God help us all if Afghanistan ever falls into their hands." Prophetic, almost.
Chillingly so, in hindsight.
He's clearly a man of strong opinions, but also someone Amir just desperately wants to impress. He talks about clutching Baba's hat at the orphanage ceremony so everyone would see that he's my father, my Baba. What kind of complexities does that dynamic add, especially with Baba's, very rigid views on masculinity?
Oh, that's a crucial observation, because it brings us right to the core of Baba's character. He really embodies a certain kind of modern secular Afghan identity, doesn't he? Sharply set against the traditional religious elements he openly despises.
Yeah.
And that tension right there, it's key to understanding the novel's exploration of Afghan identity and, future conflict. He also holds this really rigid view of masculinity, telling Amir, a boy who won't stand up for himself becomes a man who can't stand up to anything.
Oof, that's a lot of pressure.
Immense pressure on Amir, who we know struggles with courage. Yet, it's interesting that Rahim Khan, Baba's trusted friend, he sees something different in Amir. He praises Amir's early story for its irony and special talent, actually encourages his writing. A different kind of strength, maybe?
And then Asaf enters the picture, the neighborhood bully, with this chillingly clear racism against Hazaras.
Yeah, Asaf is terrifying from the start.
He tells Amir straight up, "You're part of the problem. If idiots like you and your father didn't take these people in, we'd be rid of them by now." Just brutal. But what really stands out here is Hassan's unexpected courage, facing Asaf and his brass knuckles. Hassan stands up with that slingshot, defies Asaf, convinces him to back down. It just highlights Hassan's unwavering loyalty and, frankly, incredible bravery, especially compared to Amir at that moment. So the story really builds towards the pivotal kite fighting tournament. Baba hopes Amir will finally win something.
The big chance for Amir to gain that approval.
Exactly. And Hassan, with his legendary skill as a kite runner, he promises Amir, for you, 1,000 times over. You just feel the intense emotional weight of that promise, especially knowing it leads directly to that devastating alley incident with Asaf.
The turning point.
It really is. Amir's internal struggle,
Yeah.
his ultimate cowardice is just heartbreaking. He tells himself he ran because he was afraid of Asaf and he wanted the kite, my key to Baba's heart. But the chilling truth he admits later is maybe Hassan was the price I had to pay, the lamb I had to slay to win Baba. He was just a Hazara, wasn't he?
God, that line.
What does that moment reveal? About guilt, about rationalization.
Well, that single act of betrayal, Amir abandoning Hassan, it becomes the central wound of his entire life. But it's also this chilling insight into how personal fear can rationalize profound injustice. It shapes a lifetime of regret. After Hassan comes back with the kite, Amir can't even look at him, avoids his gaze, unable to face that guileless devotion he fears seeing.
The guilt is immediate.
Immediate and crushing. The aftermath is just fraught. Amir then frames Hassan for theft, planting the watch and money. And despite Baba's desperate plea, "You're the brother I never had, Ali, you know that. Please don't do this." Yuli and Hassan leave.
It's awful.
And Amir reflects, unlike some Hindi movie where he'd chase the car screaming, he just watched them go. Watched them drive away, taking with it the person whose first spoken word had been my name. Just devastating.
Then there's the escape from war-torn Afghanistan. That also reveals Baba's defiance, doesn't it?
It does, even in the midst of chaos.
On that truck, crammed with refugees, he confronts the Russian soldier declaring, "War doesn't negate decency, it demands it, even more than in times of peace."
A moment of incredible principle, even facing a gun.
But the journey also exposes the devastating poverty of their homeland. And Amir sees his father's life just reduced to one disappointing son and 2 suitcases. It's a profound loss, seeing such a powerful man stripped down like that. What does Baba's struggle in America tell us about the immigrant experience beyond just, losing status?
Indeed. The move to America brings a whole new set of challenges. Baba, this imposing figure from Kabul, now he's working at a gas station, doing a chatty job.
Chatty job, humble work.
Right, a term for humble, often manual labor. A stark contrast to his past prominence. He still beams with pride at Amir's high school graduation, saying, "I am Muftakir," Amir, meaning proud. But then he questions Amir's desire to major in creative writing. They pay for that, making up stories.
Yeah, the practicality versus passion thing.
Exactly. It vividly highlights that immigrant experience adapting to new realities, the clash of different value systems. And the Afghan community in California, especially at the San Jose flea market, they established these new norms, a kind of unwritten code, but also these subtle undercurrents of competition, like that avoided the topic of Saturday rule for fear of running into rivals from garage sales. Little details that say so much.
And right there, at the flea market, is where a new chapter begins for Amir. He meets Soraya Taheri, his swap meet princess, and falls in love.
A chance for a different kind of life.
It seems like it, but their blossoming relationship hits a major hurdle. Baba's cancer diagnosis. Discovered after he starts coughing blood-stained phlegm.
Such a blow, just as things are looking up.
And even in his sickness, Baba's deep-seated prejudices come out. That anti-Soviet sentiment is so clear when he refuses care from Dr. Schneider, an American-born doctor.
It's because his parents were Russian?
Yeah, simply because his parents were Rusi, which Baba calls a dirty word. His prejudices run that deep, even when it affects his own health. So Baba passes away, leaves Amir with this profound void. Then comes the call. Rahim Khan, urging Amir to return to Peshawar. And he drops these bombshells. He reveals the shocking truth. Ali died, hit a landmine. And Hassan, along with his wife Farzana, massacred by the Taliban in 1998.
Horrific.
2 years after the Taliban banned kite fighting, of all things. And Hassan's chilling foresight when the Taliban first rolled in was apparently, God help the Hazars now, Rahim Khan Sahib.
He knew. He saw it coming. And this isn't just tragic news Rahim Khan is delivering, it's hark. I mean, he's laying bare a secret that completely reshapes Amir's entire understanding of his past. His entire past.
The big one?
The biggest one. The truth is revealed. Baba was Hassan's father.
Wow.
Ali, being sterile, couldn't have been Hassan's biological father, making Hassan, Amir's half-brother. And this revelation is not just a plot twist, right? It's this foundational insight into how even acts driven by love, maybe, or protection, can become a kind of theft of truth.
Like Baba always warned against.
Exactly. Perpetuating these cycles of hurt, mirroring the hidden truth that societies often bury. It brings Baba's belief that the only sin that mattered was theft, and when you tell a lie, you steal a man's right to the truth due to such sharp, painful focus. Amir now sees his own betrayal of Hassan was theft, and Baba's secret was another, much larger one, with ripple effects across generations.
So Rahim Khan issues this direct challenge to Amir. He echoes Baba's earlier criticism. A boy who won't stand up for himself becomes a man who can't stand up to anything. I wonder, is that what you've become?
Ouch. Hits him right where it hurts.
Right. But then he offers a path to redemption, a way to be good again. by rescuing Hassan's orphan son, Sohrab. Sohrab, who Hassan taught to read and write, who, like his father, is deadly with a slingshot and loves the Shahnameh, that epic Persian poem his father also cherished. This is a huge ask, isn't it? Going back into that danger.
It's an immense burden, yeah. And it raises critical questions about the cyclical nature of the past. Can Amir break the cycle? So Amir returns to a war-torn Kabul, a city utterly transformed by conflict, unrecognizable in many ways.
Barely the city he knew.
Not at all. He witnesses a public stoning in a stadium, a horrifying display of Taliban brutality, which sadly echoes Baba's earlier fears about Afghanistan falling at the hands of those bearded idiots.
It came true.
And what's truly unsettling, almost surreal, is the appearance of Asif.
Asif again.
Now, a high-ranking, merciless Taliban official. Sunglasses, wielding power. He recounts the Hazara massacre in Mazar-e-Sharif with this chilling detail. We left the bodies in the streets. We left them for the dogs. Dog meat for dogs. Just pure evil.
Unbelievable.
The confrontation between Amir and Asif becomes inevitable. It forces Amir to finally confront his past betrayer, but in this completely new, terrifying context. He can't run this time.
And it's a brutal fight. Asif uses those same brass knuckles from their childhood against Amir. Amir thinks, kind of pathetically, I think I gave him a good fight. But it's Sohrab, Hassan's son, who steps in.
Echoing his father's bravery.
Exactly, mirroring his father's bravery. Using a slingshot, he hits Asif right in the eye, saving Amir. The image of that shining yellow brass ball in the slingshot, it's just etched into your mind.
A perfect circle, almost.
Amir wakes up, jaws wired shut, missing teeth. But he has the boy. It's a painful victory, but a victory nonetheless. But getting Sohrab to America, it proves incredibly difficult. The system is against them.
Yeah, the bureaucracy.
And the lawyer, Omar Faisal, tells Amir that adoption from war-torn Afghanistan is almost impossible. He says no reasonable agency is going to send an agent to Afghanistan. He even suggests putting Sohrab back in an orphanage temporarily, which drives Sohrab to that desperate suicide attempt in the bathtub.
Oh, that scene is just gut-wrenching.
Amir feels that crushing weight, thinking not his blood too. After that, Sohrab just retreats into this profound silence for nearly a year.
The trauma is so deep.
It's a heavy price. But then there's a breakthrough. Soray's cousin, Sharif, who works at the INS, the Immigration and Naturalization Service back then, he helps arrange a visa, finally.
And that whole part of the story, it just profoundly underscores the immense trauma of war and displacement, doesn't it? Especially for a child like Sohrab. His silence is such a powerful symbol of his shattered world. But on the other hand, Amir's unwavering commitment that reflects a significant personal transformation. He doesn't give up on the boy.
He's changed.
He has. And he finally confesses his past betrayal to Soraya, mirroring her own act of courage when she told him about her past before they married.
That's huge for him.
It is. And that shared vulnerability, that honesty, it seems to strengthen their bond, their commitment to Sohrab, in a way that maybe nothing else could have.
Amir also takes this really courageous stand against General Taheri, Soraya's father, who refers to Sohrab dismissively as that Hazara boy.
Oh, I remember that confrontation.
Amir tells him firmly, my father slept with his servant's wife. She bore him a son named Hassan. Hassan is dead now. That boy sleeping on the couch is Hassan's son. He's my nephew. That's what you tell people when they ask.
Wow. Laying it all out.
And crucially, he adds, you will never again refer to him as Hazara boy in my presence. He has a name, and it's Sohrab.
Finally standing up.
It's a huge moment for Amir, finally standing up for himself, yes, but also for Hassan's legacy. It's almost like a delayed echo of Baba's challenge to him, finally answered.
And what's compelling there is how Amir then channels that energy, right? He gets involved in helping others. Afghan projects, like a hospital for landmine victims. This isn't just charity. You feel it's a powerful act of collective atonement, maybe. A deeper search for meaning in his own life, connecting back to his roots.
Trying to make amends on a larger scale.
Exactly. However, Sohrab's sleepwalking silence continues. It really underscores that healing isn't linear. It's not simple. People eventually stop asking about the poor little mute one as, the novelty had worn off and Sohrab had blended into the background. It just points to that long, difficult road to recovery for kids who've endured that kind of trauma.
But then, finally, a small, fragile breakthrough. Amir and Sohrab go kite flying. at an Afghan gathering in a park. Amir shares these surprising facts about kites, how they're used to catch fish in Malaysia or send messages in ancient China, trying to connect. And then he uses Hassan's old lift and dive trap trick to cut another kite.
Hassan's move.
Ha's move. And for just a fleeting moment, Sohrab's face comes alive. Amir sees him awake, alive.
A flicker of hope.
Just a flicker. And then Amir says the words that complete the circle, the words Hassan once said to him all those years ago, "For you, 1,000 times over."
Oh, chills.
It's such a powerful full circle moment, even if, as Amir notes, it's only a smile, nothing more. But that single smile, my goodness, it holds the weight of a lifetime, doesn't it? So where does this all leave us? What does it mean? I think the Kite Runner shows us that while the past is always there, always clawing its way out, there absolutely can be a way to be good again.
Redemption is possible.
It seems so. It's about facing your deepest fears, your own demons, making amends, finding courage even when it means fighting battles you once ran from, maybe for the very first time. It's a poignant reminder, too, that these deep human connections can endure. They can even heal. Across vast distances, across decades of silence, ultimately shaping not just individual lives, but maybe the fabric of a nation, too.
Exactly. This deep dive really highlights how the personal is always political, and vice versa. How individual stories reflect, and sometimes even influence the larger narratives of a nation, of history. And it leaves us with a truly provocative thought, I think. If redemption really is a journey, not some fixed destination you arrive at, how do we keep moving forward, especially when the ripples of our actions or choices touch generations beyond our own? It demands ongoing reflection, doesn't it? An ongoing responsibility.